Alrighty, take two. Waiting for YouTube to catch up. Waiting for YouTube to catch up. And so we can test audio. Waiting for YouTube to catch up. And it works. Okay, excellent. All right. What up, CP? Thanks. I don't know. I guess I must have closed the window that had all these tabs on it for me, is what I'm guessing that happened, but we are all good now. So we are live. It's Saturday afternoon, and this is answering your financial questions, and it's number 96, and I'm Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, Coach Steve Money, and I'm happy to be here with you today to talk about financial advice with you. And if you're interested in more financial content, you just scroll down on my page here, youtube.com/coachstevemoney, and there's the answering your financial questions. And there are 95. With today's, it'll be 96 of those that you can check out. Also, the Ramsey Show After Show, which a brand new one is going to be on Wednesday, June, this coming Wednesday. What day is that? It should be in the crawl as well. Wednesday, the 12th. And then there's also one on the 19th and one on the 21st. And so, fun times for that. And in between those, there's the music playlist, and there are about 9 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. So listen to those too if you're so inclined. And let's get into the questions. Alrighty, not. Should I sell the truck? Let's see. New. I gotta find where I was. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so I closed everything, apparently. And then, fortunately, on the Chrome and probably all the browsers, you can basically restore your last group of tabs, or your last few groups of tabs. And so let's see, we want 8 days ago is where we're at, and it's called Have Reynolds Want to Baby Step. Yeah, apologies. Here it is. Here we're coming. It should be getting close. There we are. Have Reynolds Want to Baby Step. And I knew this was, it already said this might be a long read. I apologize. I saw that. And so I went ahead and opened it in the full. And it's not that bad. But Have Reynolds Want to Baby Step. And that is the problem. You know what's gonna, guess what's gonna interfere with your baby stepping? You having rentals that you are mortgaging. And so that is, the first step is that you're not going to be doing that. You're debt leveraging, trying to make money by borrowing money on those rentals. And so that is not the way to do it, but let's see what they have to say here. Baby step 3, and actually you're not, because those mortgages don't count for step 6, because those are on your rentals, not on your residence. I believe the person has a residential mortgage as well. And so that would be the only one that you definitely keep. Maybe you sell one of the rentals that you have in order to pay off quicker the other ones, but no other debt apparently. Let's see, 12. Thank you, CP. CP knew what day Wednesday was. He's all over it. And we have the same calendar as Canada, apparently, is what I'm guessing. So baby step 3 flare. So, and again, not really. It's baby step 2. Let's see. Hi, folks. First post here. Looking to get some confirmation or perhaps feedback on blind spots in my financial plan. This might be a long read. I apologize. You can roast me. Well, not really roasting, my friend. It's just you seem to want to do it your way, but also do it partly Dave's way. And I mean, that's fine. You can do what you want to, but that's not the advice. The advice is not to do the debt leverage. And so he's got the little cute plan, buy old mid-century grandma houses with pink toilets, carpet over hardwood, but good bones, move in, renovate, doing all the work myself, stay a few years, buy a new personal residence, and keep the prior house as a rental. And that's fine, but the problem is you're doing it with multiple mortgages, and you need to do that with cash instead. So if you are, that's the problem. You're not selling the previous house. You're keeping that mortgage and also doing another one as well. First two houses are rentals with tenants, sub 4% interest rates, building equity, and with me doing all the property managing and repairs. Never use a rental property income to supplement personal finances, using the net cash flow for repairs, maintenance, and for the next house down payment. How about for paying down your rentals faster? How about that? See, you're just going crazy with the debt leverage, and that's not a Ramsey thing. So I mean, these baby steps, you say you want a baby step, you're not going to be able to. I mean, you can like do any one of these steps. You can do an emergency fund, but you're going against the entirety of the advice by using debt leverage on these rentals. Let's see. We had a surprise opportunity, 7% rate, $460,000. Let's see. Should I feel worried that I'm now using my other property's rental income in order to pay this behemoth mortgage? Yes. On paper, this is all working. Yeah, I'm sure it is. On paper, it all works. Wait till you have a big expense, for something breaks that's really, really big that you have to pay for to fix. You have people living in it, you're going to have to fix that. You're going to have to pay for them to stay somewhere. If it's something where they can't stay there for a while because you have to fix something there. And so that's going to take out all of your profit. See, people don't put that in the on paper, it's all working. They don't include that. So the debt leverage, the financial piece, etc., all that is dependent on no debt leverage happening. Let's see, we've lived conservative and worked really, really hard, but now we're a bit house poor. I would say a lot house poor. No debt other than mortgage. I clearly have not used Dave Ramsey method, but I know there's a ton of value to what you all do, and I'm here to learn. Should we implement the baby steps from where we are? Yes, and that means getting rid of one, if not both, of those rentals. So apparently you're living in the big one, in the $460,000 one, but the other two, sell them. Because it doesn't say those are paid off. Kept the prior house as a rental. It doesn't say those were bought with cash. It doesn't say those were paid off. And so let's see. Should we implement the baby steps since we are responsible? I don't think that's responsible to be house poor and to not even have an emergency fund before you're doing all that dumb crap. I don't think that's responsible at all. But can we skip the cash and envelopes bit? That's fine with me as long as you can stick to the budget without doing that. Some people can't stick to the budget unless they do it in envelopes like that. I never did it like that. And so my ex-wife and I were fine when we were in baby step 2 by just using the debit card. We stuck to the budget. Made the decision to stick to the budget and stuck to it. Can I count my untapped rental property equity, $200K, as my emergency fund? Heck no, you can't do that. He just doesn't, this person doesn't understand. They're so wrapped up in their little, I'm going to be a landlord and I'm going to make money. you're so caught up in that you're not even seeing that you're talking about not only your debt leverage in that, but you want to wait until you have an emergency and then uh, take the equity out of your rental properties by with another loan. And so you can like pick and choose from the baby steps that you want to do. That's fine. Baby step 0 is where you decide you're not using debt for anything ever again except a mortgage for a house that you live in, and that does not include mortgage that you get and then you live there and fix it up and then keep that mortgage on that one and then go get another mortgage and constantly getting more mortgages and such. And now, you're apparently not able to even pay off those other mortgages because you have to do that to pay the minimum payment on the new $460,000 house that you bought. So you're doing it wrong, and you can continue to do it wrong. It's your life and your money, and a lot of people are doing what you're doing. A lot of people are thinking like you're thinking as well. But you can't marry the debt leverage and the Ramsey advice. Now, would it be great, even with what you're doing, to have a cash emergency fund? Yes. So, go ahead and do that. But what you're doing doesn't jive with the rest of the advice. So and anytime you take like one or two of these or even most of these, but say, well, I'm going to use somebody else's other thing for a few of these baby steps. And so that's going to make it take longer. So, that's up to you. Alrighty. Baby steps right there. Just in case we need them for emergencies. Oh my goodness. So many comments. Aslan, I remember how to pronounce it. How's it going? Ooh, boom, boom. CP. There's a lot going on in this question. That's right, CP. There is a lot. It's just crazy. They may just be seeing clips of Dave and like haven't read the book or anything like that, or even seen many episodes where it's like, where you get 2 hours of, if you're watching the video, of the consistent message, and then you figure out, oh, I'm not supposed to do debt leveraging, but this person wants to do debt. Basically, take 50% of Dave's advice and toss it, but he still wants to do the baby steps. So that's you can't do that really. I mean, you can, but it's not gonna get you anywhere. It's gonna but all you're being that house poor, you're one problem away, and it doesn't even have to be in the expensive new mortgage. It could be on the one or the other two mortgages, and that can wipe you out. One roof, two rentals, one roof. Let's see, and that can just wipe you out. Let's see, Vegas Love 3 bi-weekly mortgage payments. Oh, I forgot to do something. Pardon me, a little maintenance here. There we go. Just something on YouTube I had to fix. All right. Okay. Bi-weekly mortgage payments. I've been seeing reels on social media, on the TikTok and such, no doubt, about making bi-weekly mortgage payments instead of monthly payments, and that it will cut mortgage by 8 years and the interest down to 8 to 10%. How true is this? Very. What would Dave do, Flair? He would do that if you can, but not even bi-weekly. If you can pay it once a month, you're cutting out some of that interest every time you make an extra payment. You're doing that. And so, yes, that's why you pay it off as quickly as possible to save yourself all that interest. But yeah, that's absolutely true. And it works in reverse as far as investing. So the more you invest, the sooner you invest, the more you're going to make on it, rather than, oh, well, I'll save $1,000 and then I'll invest it. You're missing all the growth between and all the time that it took you to save that $1,000. So you don't do that. You invest out of every single paycheck if you're on step 4. Alrighty, Gap, Georgia Pipkin maybe, G.A. Pipkin. Dave Ramsey personalities convinced the guy to turn down a $600K per year job. Okay, I don't get to hear the show much anymore, and so I did not hear this one. To be upfront, the guy makes $300,000 in Ohio and would make $600,000, I'm assuming, dollars in North Carolina, California. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, your expenses are going to jump up too, maybe not by 50%, or that's 100% gain. He said the Ohio job would be closer for his kids to be around family. I get it, but for 600 grand, you could fly the kids to visit grandma once a week if you wanted to. Could you though? And also pay the extra that's eventually that is going to catch up with you in California. Let's see. That and the fact that your future floor is now 600. He could be in line to make $1 million per in a few years. Okay, because you get one job for $600,000, that doesn't mean that's your future floor. Life doesn't work like that. So that's flawed thinking right there. For the majority of us, the difference between making 30K and 60K would be nice, but not that life changing. Going from 300 to 600 seems generational to me. It is if you didn't have higher expenses and higher taxes and higher everything in California. And plus, you're half a country away from family. And so it depends on what's important to you in that situation. The money would be great, but everything's going to cost more. How much of a house is this to buy the same house? The house might be twice as much, probably is, or more. And so you got to consider all that when thinking about this. If it was like from Ohio to another Midwest state, sure. That's way, way more, because that's not only closer, that's also going to be not that much more expensive as it is in Northern California. Anywhere else in America, as a matter of fact, other than Northern California or regular California, anywhere in California. And New York, etc. You start getting near the coasts, near the oceans, and then stuff starts getting expensive. All right, but so I don't know the particular details of that particular call, but those would be the reasons that you would turn that down. Come please. Okay. How can I learn to invest in Canada? Well, it works the same way everywhere. The Canada has different tax laws, of course. They have different names for tax advantaged retirement accounts as well. And so, but other than that, it's going to all be. I would like to have a financial advisor for the Ramsey group. But unfortunately, I'm from Canada. Any Canadian that would recommend me? How can I learn to invest maybe a French Canadian? This English is not the best, but I don't know French at all, so this English is better than my French would be. My money on TFSA, RSP, etc. with the values of Ramsey. You can just watch the videos, Google Ramsey investing, and it'll tell you. It's basically you are looking for, if you don't invest in anything you don't understand, and if you don't understand it, you need to either teach yourself if you can, or if you can't, that's when you pay the financial advisor. And I don't know if they work with people in Canada, but you can try to get in contact with them. You can do that through their website. You can call the customer care line, Google the Ramsey Solutions customer care line, and that way you could talk to a person and they can put you in the right direction for that. But you would be looking for a SmartVestor Pro, and there probably aren't any in Canada. But you can, you can talk to an American one as well, because that's gonna the things that they would invest in. And I don't think you can still invest in, like, for example, a large cap fund that would include the same top. Let's see, where are we at? The same top. The large cap would definitely have in it these most followed single stocks on Google. Not that great from Friday, as you can see, but Apple's still up 1.24%. But it would have like Apple, Google owner Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, the artist formerly known as Facebook, now called Meta, and Tesla. And so it would have those in there in your large cap. And so it's 25% each in small cap, which is the Russell Index, and large cap NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. I don't know if that's anything. Dow Jones is the total market index as well. So these don't all correlate to the categories that Dave recommends, but some of them do. And of course, these would all be indexes, and for saving for retirement, you can make more money with managed funds. And again, that's why you would talk to an advisor or teach yourself about how all that works. But basically, I taught myself how to do all this. You can because every little single bit of information on every single mutual fund is on the Google, and so you can teach yourself about that. But as far as how to pick the right funds, just go to YouTube and type in Ramsey investing, and then just watch all the ones that are from Ramsey Solutions. There's going to be some in there that are critiquing his investing advice. So don't bother with those. But if you watch everything that Dave and company has to say about investing, you can figure out how to and what to look for on that. And basically, the short answer is you want something with a at least a 10-year track record, excuse me. And you want something that consistently beats the index. And so, those are not hard to find. Everybody tries to make it seem like it's so hard to find that. And that also, that for the managed funds, the extra fee for paying the managers, the extra expense ratio is going to be so much more. It's not even, my managed funds, make anywhere from up starting at like 7% extra normally on average, starting at 7, and the extra expense ratio is less than 1%. So by making 7% more, that's going to cover the extra expense ratio. So that's a dumb argument from people, but they just want to be lazy. They just want to be told exactly which ones to invest in, or they just want to not bother with it and just get an index fund and be done with it. So you get one index fund and you're done with it, and you don't have to think about it anymore. And that's fine. You're just leaving money on the table. All right. Oh, let's go back here. In case I'm missing so many comments. Let's see. As in Sears going fine. If MO was able to buy a house. No, he has the 25% down, but he's saving more. I'm keep trying to tell him, if you wait, the interest rate may be up higher, and so by waiting, you may not be doing yourself any better by that. But he's like saying that he's gonna keep the mortgage amount the same no matter when he buys, and so in that case, that would be more down payment on there, but then you're going to have lesser house at that point. And so I've been trying to get him to at least consider, to at least take a look and see what's out there and see if it's anything that makes him pull the trigger. I get, he doesn't want to do it when you have really, really low rent. I understand not wanting to sign up for a lot of mortgage or any mortgage at all, even if you do have a huge down payment, which he just has basically at this point enough for his target range to be able to be in the around the 25% of your take-home pay mortgage payment on a 15-year fixed. This from Alan Yelly. Should I quit my second job? I'm getting ready to leave my day job in a few weeks to start a new one. It's a bump in base salary. Okay, great. There will be plenty of opportunities for overtime. Great. And there's a very clear path for me to make six figures in a few years. Great. With overtime, I actually may be able to hit six figures during my first year. I'm very excited. That said, I have a second part-time job doing sales for a small company, commission only. I bring in about $200 per sale for about an hour of work, give or take if I get the sale. Well, sure. Then it's a none, right? What do you make if you don't get the sale? If it's overall, I mean, even if it's $100 for an hour of work, that's worth doing. And you can't, like right now, you have to do with what you are making right now. Not, well, in a few years it'll be six figures. No, you have to think about what you're making right now without that being that, and that's possible. That's not definitely going to happen that you'll make six figures in a few years. So you need to look at your situation right now, and if you're on baby step 2, keep your butt working and work for that hour and make $100. Yes. So do not quit that second job. Again, it depends on where you are. Well, let's take a look. See if he says where he is or she. Give me up time for me to put more overtime in my other job, which is much more predictable money. Yeah, so if you're gonna quit the other job to work more overtime, that's fine as well. So plus I really want to freelance work to bring in more money. Okay, and that's fine as well. If that's going to be overall more money than you doing that sales job, yeah, that's fine. Post baby step 2, did I call it or what? Oh, well, it says baby step 2 right there. My bad. I don't think I saw that, but maybe I saw it out of my periphery there. But yeah, baby step 2. So yeah, you're working, but you can choose the work you do, and you can choose it to be the most bang for the buck, as they say, and not have it depend on whether you make a sale or not as well. Post baby step 2 is to own my own consulting company. That's fine as long as you build that at the speed of cash. Let's see. What would you do? I've fallen away from Dave Ramsey for a bit. Say what? How dare you? But I'm ready to get serious about my debt again. I've had it. Yep. So definitely work at least the same amount you are working already with the side job, the one side job, but like replace it with another side job, like you're saying you were going to do freelance work. That's fine. Just work, and get that debt paid off. Cool. So yeah, it's even in that situation, it's fine to quit that if you're replacing it with more work and a different situation that likely will mean more money overall. Alrighty. Boom. Hassan has been away for almost 9 months. Yes, Hassan, it is awesome. He has the 25%. Yeah, he's been saving a while. And so, yeah, it is really difficult. I mean, and I get it too. I've been a renter for a while now, and signing up for a mortgage. I mean, I don't know, I'm old. So I don't know that I would ever do that, but I know if I would, I know I would have to seriously think hard about it. Let's see. Been away about 9 months. Added second client. Work has been insane. Okay, speaking of work, which is always approved. If you can't be in YouTube chats because you're working, that is definitely approved. It's really nice to make some extra money, but tough on the social life and time to watch YouTube. That's right. That's right. I was wondering where all my watch hours went. Aslan? No, I'm doing all right. Are you still in I am still in Arkansas. I did not move back to OH yet. October. So 4 months. July, August, September, October. Yeah, 4 months. 4 months in a week. Cool, cool, cool. Alrighty, prize werewolf 8090 paid off $220,000 in debt in 2 years. Excellent. Fellow Dave Ramsey fans, couldn't wait to share this exciting news to you. My husband and I just made our last payment on our whopping $220,000 of debt. The majority of this was student loan related, 200K. Okay, the rest consumer debt. Okay. Started right after we got back from our honeymoon in March of 2022, staring down the barrel of a mountain of debt when my husband came across Dave Ramsey and we decided to dive in. That's excellent. Fast forward to today, and we're both 27 years old, debt free, and feeling absolutely incredible. There were plenty of moments, I'm sure there were. I'm just seeing if there's a mortgage. They do have the baby step 3 flare on there. Feeling absolutely incredible. Plenty of moments where we wanted to throw in the towel, but we kept each other motivated with visions of financial freedom dancing in our heads. That's awesome. To keep ourselves motivated, we colored a progress sheet and kept it on our fridge. Every time we completed one page, 25% of the debt, we each wrote 3 answers to questions like, why are we doing this? What are you most looking forward to when being debt free? The sacrifices were real. That's a great thing to do there. Good job. Sacrifices are real, and to anyone out there feeling overwhelmed by debt, remember that you're not alone. Keep hustling, stay focused, and remember that every small step forward is a victory worth celebrating. You've got this, and we're rooting for you. Excellent. All right, and so you got to make sure by reading the whole thing, because I have done one of these before, and then they said something like, and then we went back in debt, or and then we still have student loans, or something like that. But since I need some water anyway, we'll give them Price is Right winning thing. You know what I just thought of? I don't know why I've never gotten the clip from Braveheart of Mel Gibson yelling freedom. I should get that clip. I don't know why. Weird. Only been doing this 5 years. Oh well. So yeah, congratulations to them. Absolutely. Shot Garlic, high yield savings account and emergency fund. Edit for clarity. I've no debt besides my mortgage. Okay. Thanks for taking time to read. I have a baby step 1 emergency fund of $1,500. Upped it because anxiety. Not, that's, Dave has the reasons for it being $1,000. If you're gonna see, the problem is if you do this 1,500 and then you change something about baby step 2 and then you change something about baby step 3 and then you change something about baby step 4, if you keep doing that, it's gonna derail you. It's gonna make getting to step 7 take longer. The more you change it, it's gonna do that. But let's say you get this, you have extra $500 of emergency fund, and then you do that's the only thing you have a problem with, and then you do all of the other baby steps exactly the way they are, I wouldn't yell at you for that. And so, you're free to do, everybody is free to do exactly what they want to do with their money. but you don't have to run it through the baby steps or Reddit in general, or specifically the Ramsey subreddit on the Reddit. But people love to do that anyway, for some reason. Let's see. Okay, credit union savings account. I'm new to personal finance generally, so tend to be anxious about money. I have additional $5,000 baby step tree emergency fund in my high yield savings account. It would take 3 days. Yep. So that's why you can't do that. So if you're in step 2, you're doing it wrong. So you're changing everything, because you would not have the baby step 3 fund if you were still in step 2. You're doing it wrong. That's not how it works if that's the case. Let's see. Didn't put what baby step. I have a support system that would totally loan me money. That's, again, doing it wrong. Baby step 0, it's not on here. Definitely not on here, nor is it on here. But baby step 0 is where you decide you're not doing loans, borrowing, or lending. You're not doing that ever again, ever. Like ever, except for a house that you live in. You can get a mortgage on that. Let's see, but I'm feeling anxious about not being able to instantly access that 5K just in case. I'm fine, right? I just think I need someone to tell me it's unreasonable to worry about the 3-day transfer time. No, it is. It is. Your emergency fund has to be 100% available right now. So you need to move that to a different high yield savings account where you have debit card or check writing access to it. So yeah, because emergencies don't wait 1 to 3 days for that transfer. And if you still, I have no debt besides my mortgage. Okay, so fine. So you don't need, okay, so a lot of people make this mistake too, and it's not so much cleared up. Let's see. The wording here, yeah, save $1,000, save 36 months of expenses. Okay, but the way they phrased it on this subreddit, it's to save $1,000 as fast as possible. And then baby step 3 said, grow your $1,000 savings in the 3 to 6 months. And some people do think you're supposed to have the $1,000 and also the 3 to 6 months. And if you do have a mortgage, I do recommend definitely 6 months, because you could need a roof, need a new roof at any time, and you have to pay for it. And so that would be the reason for the 6 months but you don't have to have both baby steps 1 and 2. Baby step 1 becomes step 3 with more added on it. And so that, you would think that's like logical and so forth, but apparently some people don't have it that way in their brain, and they see, well, this is a step, and so I gotta keep that $1,000 separate as an emergency fund forever, and then the 3 is a different one. But this actually says grow your, so if they read this, they have no excuse for not understanding. But so yeah, so okay, but that's great. No debt besides mortgage, so you don't need the $1,000. You just have this 3 to 6 months of living expenses, and it does have to be immediately accessible. No 1 to 3 day transfers, because emergencies do not ask you, well, I'm going to happen 3 days from now, so go ahead and transfer that money. That's not how emergencies happen. Emergencies happen right now, right now, right now, right now. That's, oh, thanks for the IO, CP. Appreciate it. As in, like, emergency fund to be more than $1,000. The extra in there lets me sleep at night. Sleep is good. I thought 3 to 6 months could be in a fund that you can get in 2 to 3 days. Nope. Your full emergency fund has to be immediately accessible. So it can still be in a high yield, like I said, but not all of them, probably most of them, do not have check writing or debit card access, but some of them do. And so you would just need to find one that does, or just take it out, forego the interest and don't have that. Let's see. Flaky Calligrapher 62. Does it stick? The post is inspired by one I just saw about how many callers follow Dave Ramsey advice. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, the number of callers. I mean, a lot of times you can hear that they've made up their mind already, but they're still calling for some reason. See, my mind does not think the way a lot of people think. Uh, where if I made my mind up about something I was going to do, I would not call somebody I'm almost sure would tell me not to do that. And if you've watched Dave for 10 minutes, you know that he's the no debt guy, so you don't call asking about debt. Why would you do that? I mean, the screener puts them on, and you gotta apparently because people don't get it. People don't get it, and so maybe the more they put on where people are asking for loans, asking if loans are okay, and I mean, Dave's even made fun of it before. He said even, well, hate to disappoint you, there's not going to be the one time that I say to take out a loan. Yeah, but everybody thinks they're the exception as well, and I definitely do not think that about myself. If we consider only those people who successfully work the baby steps and get out of debt, what percentage stay out of debt and for how long? Nobody knows. Nope. Does anybody know the stats on that? They may have some at Ramsey, but that's not the type of thing that they would release, probably, because that doesn't do anybody any good to know that. Does anyone know people, maybe from FPU, that get in debt again? Certainly they do. Absolutely, people do that. And it could be, okay, so okay. Does anyone know people who have paid off all of their debt and then relapse? Yeah, you have those as well. Yes. Yes, I do know. Yes, I personally know people in person that have paid off all debt and then relapse. And I know people from the Ramsey Show chat that have done that as well. Absolutely. And so, but in thinking about this, you have to realize a very small percentage of the world, or even if you just want to limit it to America, is going to do Dave's advice, because steps 1, 2, and 3 require all of your money except necessities to go to those steps, to go to the baby emergency fund, start emergency fund, to pay off all the non-mortgage debt, and to have the 3 to 6 months of emergency fund. And those are going to take all of your money. And so that means no Starbucks. And people don't like to tell themselves no. So a very small percentage is going to do that. So that you're getting rid of a lot of percentage of the population right there by doing that. And then you are going to have people that understand that it's a great idea. It's a great idea to do that, and they start doing it, but then they do relapse, just because they don't have the willpower. They got tired of telling themselves no, or whatever reason. But who knows? Who knows? And it doesn't matter what the stats are. It doesn't matter what other people do. You have to control what you can control, and that's what you do. And so you need to be most worried about what you do. Just like politics and such. Your house, what happens in your house is infinitely more important than what happens in the White House. That's a Dave saying, of course. Alarmed hearing 9722. How many of you actually do baby steps 4, 5, and 6 at the same time? I would hope a lot, because that's how it's supposed to go. That's another thing. I mean, I should do a video on how people do the baby steps wrong, incorrectly. Because a lot of people don't know that either. Baby steps 1, 2, and 3 are one at a time in order without moving forward. So you're not doing step 4 or step 5 or step 6 while you're doing step 1 or 2 or 3, and you're not doing 1 and 3 at the same time. You're not doing 1 and 2 at the same time. You're not saving up the $1,000 and then using that $1,000 to pay off debts. That's not why you save it. You save it to be an emergency fund, not to pay off debt. If that was the case, then pay off debt would be baby step 1. But again, people don't think that logically in general, I find. So, yeah. Oh, back to the question. Dave always says do baby step 4, 5, and 6 simultaneously. Right. And so how that works is you're using your debt snowball amount. So you're paying minimums on debt, and everything you have left over, then minimums on debt, and after essential items that you have to get to live, all the non-essential item money that you would be spending normally, everything that's left over, you would put that towards your $1,000 emergency fund if you're in step 1. And then once you get that $1,000, then that amount starts going towards debt. And then when you pay off your smallest debt, you add to that snowball the amount of that extra payment that you've been paying, or at least the minimum payment. You would add that to the snowball effect, the amount that's left over after you pay minimums on debt and all of your necessities. Necessities is first before debt. Anyway, and so with that snowball, and then once you're all done with that, then you have a bigger snowball amount where you should be able to grow your 3 to 6 month emergency fund much faster, because you don't have any of these debts you're paying towards anymore, and everything extra that you were putting towards debt, now you pay yourself in the form of your full emergency fund. All right, and so after you get the full emergency fund done, you still have that extra money. Now you can put in the budget fun things at that point, definitely. And some people would like do something after they finish step 2 as well. And I'm fine with that. You just don't go crazy after step 2. Try to relax. You can do something fun, 1 or 2 things maybe, and you put it in the budget, and that's fine. And that'll make your baby step 3 take that much longer to finish, but that's fine as long as you're still in control of the budget. And so then once you get done with your 3 to 6 months of expenses, then that extra snowball amount, then that snowball amount goes to step 4, 5, and 6. So you invested 15%, and if you still have money left over, then if you have kids, you can apply that to kid college. And the younger they are, the less you have to save. If you don't have kids yet, you skip step 5. If you're renting, you skip step 6. But if you do have the mortgage, anything left over after investing the 15% out of every paycheck, then you would put that right to the house. And by doing that, that's how you get to step 7 the fastest. Let's see. I have never been able to do that. Example, we had the first baby. Since we had no healthcare insurance using Christian healthcare ministry, we had to stop investing and spend the next 8 months making payments to all the docs and providers until we were finally reimbursed by CHM. Okay, that is how that works. The next year, we had to stop investing again and save cash for a van, because then baby number 2 came, okay? The first thing, understand you have to pay for the baby expenses. Understand that? So with this, had to save cash for a van because baby step 2 came. So you have, or second baby came. Not baby step, but actual baby happened. Baby number 2 happened. So you have 2 kids. And tell me, why do you need a van? I have been able to fit 2 kids just fine in a compact car. And guess what? They're still living. They are adults and they made it successfully. They lived. So, dumb. People do this stuff all the time. You do not need a suburban assault vehicle, SUV, or any kind of van or anything like that because you have 2 kids. You also don't need an extra room if you have 2 kids. 2 kids can live in the same bedroom. Dumb, 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 dumb. And then the whole misery of payment started over again. Payment does not have an E right there. Stared all over again. That's your fault. That one's your fault. I got it. I got it. You don't get immediate reimbursement, so you had to stop investing to pay for that. Okay? Now, but see, here's the thing. Now, when you find out that baby number 2 is coming, yes, you save money, but it's to pay the doctors and the hospital. It's not to buy a freaking van. That's so dumb. Then repairs on the house, then sewer drain. Yeah, I mean, that, you know what? Then you got to look at your budget as well and see what you can cut out to make up for your incredibly bad luck. Bad luck does happen to people, for sure. And so, you check to see if once you got to step 4 to see if you just stop paying attention to money or whatever, or if it's just you have just incredibly bad. Okay, so repairs on the house, sewer drain got backed. Okay, and then needed a new fridge and stove. And then you get the point. Yeah, so I don't know if that you needed a new fridge and stove. Could have got used ones. Possible. Could have got your old fridge and old stove repaired. That's possible as well. So some of this is your own dumb fault. Let's see. I would have investing on auto draft in life would happen. Right. Yeah, and then the auto draft would have to be stopped. Yeah, I do mine manually. So doing it manually is fine. Until whatever expense will pay. 10 years and 2 job changes later, plus re-enlisting in the National Guard. I finally make over 6 figures and have health insurance. Great. Life still happens to this day. I only put money towards baby step 4, 5, and 6 when I have the cash in hand. No auto drafts because I know that something will happen. Well, does it sound accurate to your situation during the journey? No, it doesn't. But I would say half of this is your fault. That may be a higher estimate, assuming that you did actually need a new stove and a new fridge and repairing it was impossible or would have cost more. I got it. But, I mean, what repairs on the house? If it's cosmetic repairs on the house, investing is more important than that. So some of this is definitely on you. So, that having bad luck, that is not fun at all. I get that, and I'm sorry that happened to you. But that doesn't give you a pass on making dumb decisions like getting a van just because you have a second kid. And also, if you didn't save up money in advance to pay your expenses for the baby, the hospital and the doctors and such, if you didn't save that up, then that's your fault, again, for that. So you're doing things wrong here, and I'm sure some people don't do it. I'm sure they, like I said before, and maybe you also stop being intentional once you got to step 4. And that happens as well. People think, oh, I got my full emergency fund. I don't have to be intentional with money anymore. Nope, always. Budget, always. Even if you're on step 7, you still do a budget. All right. That one raised my hackles. Let's see. I would say it is the percent that are smart that stay out of debt once they are out of debt. Yeah, don't know what that would be though. I'm sure some people lose their way, even after start being smart enough to start it, and then they lose their way. Just it's willpower basically. Willpower combined with, in honor of that last post, willpower combined with how much bad luck you have as well. As I'm back to work, nice to catch up with me. NCP is where? Oh, as well. All right, take care. All right, thanks. Appreciate you dropping by there, Asa. Nice to hear from you. I was wondering what had happened to you. She was on every stream for a while there. All right, from Eric Gona, 36, baby step 7 flare. And of course, the baby step 7 is build wealth and give. So that means you do not have any debt, including a mortgage. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have a house that you own. You could just have decided to rent forever or just for temporarily, and you'll temporarily be on step 7. But then, of course, when you start saving the down payment, you would be back on step 3B, which is right here. And another video that I should do that I've been promised to do for years now, the missing baby steps, baby step 0, which is not on here, and baby step 3B, which is not on here. And it's not on here either. Now, I opened up this one day and it did say baby step 3B on it. I saw it. I'm not making it up. I'm old, but I do not have dementia. It did say it. I should have screenshotted it. I wish I would have, but I didn't. So it was just that one day, and the next time I was doing a stream, I opened it again and no 3B. And I thought, well, maybe they'll change it when they have the Total Money Makeover weekend and they release the, the 20th or 25th anniversary edition of the Total Money Makeover. I thought they might change it then, but I don't know. Maybe it was just some kind of something somebody did for fun or something like that, and it accidentally got uploaded. I do not know. Do not know about that. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe I can ask Mod about that. Let's see. Helped a young coworker set a budget. Excellent. I don't normally create posts here. I comment a lot, but don't usually post. But I really wanted to share what happened with one of my young coworkers. I started to brainwash her into the Ramsey plan a few weeks ago. That is certainly fine. You know, normally we don't like brainwashing, but if it's the Ramsey advice, I'm all for it. That is not going to hurt her in any way. Subject of money came up and I was telling her what I did, shared to the various podcasts. I listened to highlighting Rachel Cruz, and that's why, how's it go? And that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz. Yeah, that's how it goes. George Camel and Smart Money Happy Hour, plus the main program, and of course the younger kids would probably relate to Rachel and George more than the old man, but you know, it's all the same advice, so it's all good. Plus the main program, she was very receptive and been listening to the show on the bus on her way from to work. Turns out she paid off her credit card this month. Excellent. Boom, boom, boom. Yay her. She's 22 and wants to get her money off to a great start. Yeah. Yesterday, she came to see me regarding her salary. She had a question about it. Thought her pay was one thing, but found out it was another. She was able to figure it out on her own. While I had her, I told her to pull up Excel. I said, let's create a budget. Had her put in her income and then list her 4 walls. 4 walls are, of course, shelter, clothing, transportation, food. Those are the 4 walls. I made her do that while I was sitting there watching. Made her. All right. Getting a little, maybe a little bit too much with the phrasing there. Then I told her, now add any debt and recurring expenses, subscriptions underneath to see what's left over. I did not see her numbers and didn't need to see them. Okay, that's good. That's boundaries. Hashtag boundaries. Paging Dr. Cloud. Paging Dr. Cloud. She texted me a little later on thanking me for pushing her to rip the Band-Aid off and take a look at where her dollars were going. Yes, people do not generally do that. The average person has no idea where their money is going. They don't look. They don't even, they have online bank access and they don't even log in and look at the whole month or take the statement, printed statement from the bank and look at everything. And that's when you would be that's when you would have the moment of I spent how much on Starbucks in 1 month? Yeah. And so that's where you would come up with that. Let's see. She realized that all her little purchases, also known as special treats, were eating up most of her leftover money, and that she had a good chunk of money left over that she didn't realize she had. Yep. I've continued her education by introducing her to sinking funds. Right? I've also planted the idea that she should consider starting some contributions into the Roth 403b plan we have available. 22. Yeah, if she doesn't have any debt, if she has a full emergency fund first, though, dog, don't forget the baby steps. Don't get so excited about her progressing that you forget about the baby steps. Don't forget about the full emergency fund. Repeated to her what Rachel always says: your future self will thank you. Yes, but you must have full emergency fund first. Plan works, folks, and if you have opportunity to do so, you can make a difference in someone else's life. That's right. You never know who needs your wisdom. That's right. I enjoy it, definitely. I enjoy doing streams and such like that, but that's why I'm doing this. This girl hangs around with two other young coworkers I've been trying to get my hooks into. Perhaps she'll be able to show them what she's done and gain some traction with them. Yeah. And they would be much more willing, conceivably, much more willing to pick it up from her than from you. Because she's more of their peer than you are. And so, yes, she can be a great example to them. And that's basically all you can do. You can talk to people about it, but, it's more is caught than taught, like Rachel also says. And so just by doing it and being a good example, that you catch more flies with honey that way rather than just saying, okay, this is what you got to do, this, then this. All right, this from Robbo 12347. What happened to 5 and 6? Mutual funds recommended by Dave Ramsey. I see Dave Ramsey recommend buying growth, aggressive growth and income, and international mutual funds. I'm 40 years old and not planning on retiring for another 20 years. Is it worthwhile me buying growth and income? Yes, 20 years is plenty of time to make good money in the market. Yes. I've read on other forums on here. Most people say don't buy income funds if retirement is a long time away. I would appreciate anyone's thoughts on this. Thanks in advance. This would be the 25% split into growth, aggressive growth and income, and international mutual funds. 25% of your 15% of your gross income that you're supposed to be investing in step 4. And so they are more commonly known by, I can never remember the other ones. Aggressive growth is small cap. And these are just names that Dave called them. I don't know if when he was starting out, they were more known by this, but you don't see these terms that much anymore. And so I think the growth is mid cap and growth and income large cap maybe, or I might have those two reversed. But anyway, you don't have to worry about it as long as you just get small, mid, large cap, and international are Dave's 4 categories. And it's managed mutual funds because they can make more than the indexes on those types. And what did he say? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so yes, you should still do that. Absolutely. You got 20 years in the market. That's plenty of time. And so you should do exactly what Dave says about that. Candid ad 2609, 32-year-old trying to get back on track. Hello all. Hi guys. This is the first time I posted on the Reddit, so I'm looking for some advice with a budget to get back on track. I'm single, no kids, and make $33K a year after taxes as of right. Good. Everybody will be able to relate to you then. That's good. You don't make $100,000 where people would just shut off and say, oh, I wish I had that problem. I wouldn't have any problems if I made $100,000. As of right now, I'm about $43K in debt. Ew. Credit cards, personal loan, and vehicle. Might need to sell that vehicle, my friend. Personal loan, $10K. Vehicle around $21K. Credit cards around 11K, bring home around 2,800 a month. Monthly expenses are about 2,400 a month, give or take. Any info or help would be grateful. Well, you need to cut that 2,400 down. If the car payment is $400 even, you might need to sell that and move down in car to like a $5,000 or less car. That would, you gotta do something to, I mean, with only 400 extra a month. So, I mean, especially if there's the situation where you've already cut your budget to the bone. Probably you haven't though, but you've, let's just say you did, and then even carving everything out and all this 2,400 is necessities, which again I doubt. All the 2,400 is necessities. Then all you have is 400. That's going to take a long time to pay at $400 a month to pay off $43,000. And so in that case, you have to do drastic things to get drastic results. So you might have to move down an apartment or house, sell the car. Definitely go through that budget, and you're cut out everything that's not a necessity. You know, sorry. I mean, that's what happens when you start taking out more debt than you make in a year. So that is crazy. Do not do that. All right. Mundane P 1143. Should my wife and I buy a mobile home? I don't think Dave would ever recommend you do that. They go down in value too fast. So wife and I are considering buying a mobile home and putting it on some property that our parents own. They're great people. We spend a lot of time with them daily and don't see any problems living next to them. Yep, you never do. The mobile home, but you're indebted to them. Even if they're not asking for money, you're indebted to them for that. The mobile home we're looking at is $63,500. That's a no for me, dog. And after getting the electric, septic, HVAC, and dirt pad done, it would be around $78,000. Yeah, see, look at how much extra stuff you have to do. You have to do electric, septic, HVAC, and a dirt pad. How about you just buy a house or just keep renting until you can afford a house? We would put $10,000 down, and the payment per month would be around $880. Yeah, that's a no on that. No on a mobile home. Could be reduced about 30 to 50 if we pay for some things out of pocket. My goal in buying the mobile home is to pay it off in 4 to 5 years, and at that point look at buying a house and using it as a rental property after we move it. Using what? The mobile home? The biggest reason we were looking at this is because of how inflating the housing market is. No, that's still going to be a no from Dave. I am confident about that. Nope, you just keep saving your down payment. You take that $10,000 that you have now or are planning to have, and you add to it so that you buy a cheap house and you get it down to where the payment is no more than 25% of your household income. Take home. So yeah, mobile homes are a no thank you from Mr. Ramsey and myself. I agree with him. Mr. Dunn again, credit cards done. Okay, first of all, you do not put an apostrophe in to make a credit card plural. Just the S works. Credit card with apostrophe there shows possession. Finished off 40K in credit card debt today. That part is excellent. Took about 18 months. Probably more like 50K when you figure the interest during that time. Felt damn good to finally see a 0 on the final biggest card. 1 car loan to go. It's on to baby step 3. Let's go, boys. Okay, Mr. Dunn again. We stay going around these parts, so we don't have to ever say let's go because we stay going. And so, but that's great. That's great. Get rid of that car loan and get to baby step 3. Excellent. That's how you do it. Fair distribution, 66, paid off car today. Excellent. Story time. On my financial independence journey, I've had some really tough luck. on cars in my life. Hoping this one lasts. December 2021, bought a Nissan Rogue for $8,000. I made monthly payments, but in about 5 months, the transmission died, and the auto body shop told me I needed to put $7,000 in the car. Well, why wouldn't you use that to just pay for repairs? I was being stupid there because he said like to put it in the car. What's that gonna do? That means to use for the repairs. Oh, sorry about that. I sold it for 20. That wasn't as funny as I thought it was gonna be. Sold it for 24. That happens a lot. People can then we can tell you that. I sold it for 2,400 about 3 weeks later. Okay. March 2023, I bought a 2002 Subaru Outback for $3,000. Heating device from Caleb and Dave Ramsey. Talking about Caleb Hammer. Only buying a beater and not getting a loan. That is the advice. Good job. Only buying a beater and not getting a loan is exactly the advice. The car pooped out a month later. That can happen with $2,700 repair bill coming. Okay, so yeah, that can happen. And so any vehicle you buy, you do want it to be looked out by your mechanic. If you don't have a mechanic, get one or pick one. Just have it not be somebody that the seller has, or if you're buying it from a dealer, don't buy it from a dealer because they're going to charge you more money than a private seller will. And so, okay, let's just check out the rest of this. So just bad luck there. Flash forward November 23. And I needed a car for my job as public transportation. Couldn't do it. So, okay, they keep selling the beaters. I got you. So he doesn't have one. I decided to buy the middle ground car, 2013 Prius for $13,000. Got a loan. Yeah, it's no loans, babe. No loans. So you're doing it wrong. And today I sent a check at $10,700 to pay off my car 55 months early. Well, that part is great. But the loan was a bad idea. A lot of people says I told myself I'd pay it off ASAP. This person obviously did. But a lot of people say that and then don't do the part of actually doing it. I'm feeling very good right now about my debt now being gone. Me too. Accepting the debt, but attacking it as fast as possible. I was pretty frugal on my journey, and Kayla was a big part of it. Anyway, cheers to your debt journey. Yeah, you would still not do debt. You would do without the car for a little while, or you would buy something that's not $13,000. So it's no loans. Loans, they're just not an option anymore. Again, that's baby step 0. And I will, forthcoming video on that event. But yeah, step 0, part of step 0 is you decide you're not doing debt anymore. You will find another way. There are other options. You just need to look for them harder than you're looking. It's very easy to go get a loan for $12,000 at 8.49%. It's harder to keep looking and not accepting that as the only alternative. So, but good on you for paying it off. Don't take out any more loans ever. Ever. Except for a mortgage for a house that you live in. Dilemma. But this for Throw Mathilda. Throw Matilda. Okay. There was another Throw I don't know what the Throw means. Maybe we'll look it up later. Buying a rental property with mortgage or waiting to pay full without mortgage. How is that a dilemma? I don't live in my own country, and here buying a property is crazy expensive, most expensive city in the world. That's your fault for moving there. I would like to invest in a property in my home country and rent it. I have enough for down payment, 20% or a little more. No, you don't buy rental property with mortgages. You buy them in cash. That rental property is a business, and you grow all businesses at the speed of cash. So you have to save up to buy it in cash per the Ramsey advice. If you want to do what you want to do instead, let's say I can keep my 3 to 6 months savings. So I love these people. I love these people because they want to do something they should know darn well is against the advice, but then they're like trying to keep in, and they're like holding on to, oh, but the baby step three. Why do you care about the baby step three, but you don't care about his other advice saying that you don't do mortgages, you don't do loans on any type of business thing? You can do a mortgage. He will not yell at you for if you live in it. And keep 3 to 6 months of savings. So, I mean, why bring that up if you don't care about Dave's advice? And have some ETF stocks, investments. If you have debt, that shouldn't be happening. Hopefully, there's no other debt. The rent could pay 3/4 of the mortgage until it doesn't. And I will probably have to pay the other quarter. Is it worth it as an investment? No. Or should I wait to have the full amount? Yes, maybe in 5 to 10 years. Yes, you should. But you should be doing your baby step 4. You should be doing your 15% of gross. That should be the majority of your investing right now. Now, if you have more money than that, that's awesome. You go right down the baby steps. If you don't have a house yet, if you're renting in the most expensive city in the world, I wonder if that's New York City, probably. Maybe Los Angeles. I don't know. Maybe probably New York. But that's on you. Instead of New York City, you could move to America somewhere and live in America. How about the Midwest? It's very nice. That will allow you to invest more. Or if you're saving for a house for yourself, I would be more concerned about that before investing in a property across an ocean or something like that in your home country. So a country away, and you're trying to get a property there, somebody's going to have to manage it, and that's going to take away from your profit. See, people don't ever think clearly about this stuff. I don't know why. Just because they get in their head that, oh, if I buy a property, that's just free money. Nope. Frosty Karen, save cash or invest more. Let's see. My husband planning on going to law school. We're debt free and don't want to take out loans, so we are currently foregoing saving for retirement currently to ensure that we have enough cash to fund law school. Is that the right move? Good question. So if you're on step 4, I actually don't know off the top of my head what Dave would say about that. I have a feeling he's going to say keep saving for retirement, and you just put off law school until you can afford it. You do the 15% and you just hold off on the law school. You're going to pay for it in cash, so that part is great. He does say you can stop investing for 2 to 3 years to buy a house, but that's going to be definitely increasing in value and your net worth. The problem with the law school is you don't know if you're going to graduate and pass the bar. You do not know that in advance. So that's a crapshoot. So from me personally, I'm going to say you invest the 15%, and then in your budget you can put to save whatever else is going on there. But like if you already have a mortgage and stuff too, you're not in a situation where you can do law school yet, because you have other things to take care of. So doesn't say how old, but yeah, I'm gonna say that's a no for me, dog. You invest the 15% of household income, and then on the outside of that, you save for that. And you also think for a second, what if I can't hack that? What if I don't graduate? Or what if I do graduate and can't pass the bar? Then what? Then it's all a waste. So you really got to think about that. And, it's the same thing. Kids don't think about that when they're signing for the student loans. They're not thinking about the 50% not graduating rate. They don't think about that. Women don't think about, oh, well, if I get married and have a kid, I'm going to want to be a stay-at-home mom. But what about this big student loan you just signed for? They don't think about that either. Where's your baby step 3, 36-month emergency fund? Mine is just 3 months, so I never bothered putting it in a high-yield savings account. But you can do that, as previously discussed with Aslan here from the comments. You can have that in a high-yield savings account, but you must have 100% immediate access to it. So you got to have a debit card on that high-yield savings account, or check writing privileges, or both. Because emergencies, it's the emergency fund, right? Emergencies do not wait 1 to 3 days for a transfer. Wife and I own a contract to sell our home, and after paying off our debts, looking to walk away with $115K. With the proceeds, we're planning to also complete baby step 3, but I don't know where to put it. Do you keep yours in investment, a high yield savings account? It would not be in an investment, because investments would be even slower than a high yield savings account to get. Slavings. High yield savings account. It's not dead. It's not slavings. High yield savings account. You can put it in that, but again, you must have a debit card or check writing privileges on that. Read the fine print on any high yield savings account. And if you can't find one, then sorry, you can't put it in there. Because you got to have immediate access to it, because emergencies don't wait 1 to 3 days for that transfer to happen. This is from Mike Long, lots of G's there. Certified Personal Financial Wellness Consultant. Anyone know anything about this certification from the National Financial Educators Guild? No, I'm not one of those. I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And so that I could tell you about. But this thing, who knows? Who knows? This National Financial Educators Council, I don't think as many people have heard about that as I've heard the name Dave Ramsey before. So, yeah, possibly looking. Yeah, need some insight. Yeah, so it's 12 people that answered. I don't know if they're familiar with it or just said, no, never heard of it. Chris J, 1616. The Ramsey Solutions certification would mean much more if you agree with Dave's way of doing it rather than just anybody's or just what you come up with. I would say do the Dave certification if you're trying to get any certification. Chris J, 1616, buying a new car with cash. Where to take from? All right, so let's see where the options are. So my wife and I have decided we're going to replace her 10-year-old car. Our net worth, you can sell that for some. Our net worth is around $1.3 million. Of the sources we can pull from, we have approximately $75K in an inherited Roth IRA. You cannot pull from that, I don't think, without penalty and taxes. And around $150K in brokerage accounts. You can pull from the brokerage accounts. You will have to pay on the gains. But yeah, you can do that. Rest of our net worth is in 401K, house. You wouldn't touch those either. We also have a fully funded emergency fund. The new car, have decided we're going to replace our 10-year-old car. That's not an emergency. So that doesn't come out of the emergency fund either. We plan on spending about $35K. Okay, so not getting a new to them car, I guess, or either a very cheap new car then. Okay. Given our net worth, the new car is a very small percentage, right? And that's fine. If you're a millionaire, you can do that. We are undecided if we should pull the funds from the Roth, nope, or the brokerage account. The Roth would be tax-free, while the brokerage accounts we'd have to pay. Oh, because it's an inherited Roth IRA? They gotta pay taxes on that. Do you, whoops, put fingers in the right place. You have to pay taxes on inherited IR. Is that a Roth IRA? IRA withdrawals. I think that did say Roth. Yeah, inherited Roth. Okay, so let's change that to Roth. I did not do a good. You have to? There we go. That's what I want. Yes, you generally have to pay taxes on inherited IRA withdrawals depending on the type of IRA. Let's say inherited Roth. In most cases, withdrawal from inherited Roth IRA are tax-free, but there are some exceptions. Withdrawals of contributions, always tax-free, right? But they didn't do any contributions to the inherited. Relationship between the beneficiary and the original owner can also affect tax treatment. If the Roth inherited a spouse, it can be treated as a beneficiary, and withdrawals can be tax-free. If the Roth IRA came from someone else, the beneficiary may need to take required minimum distributions as if it were traditional, right? Full amount in 10 years. However, if the original owner passed away before they were required to take it, beneficiary may be able to withdraw their funds at their discretion as long as the account is depleted within 10 years. So it depends, is the answer. So it depends on the relationship. It doesn't say who they inherited it from. So I thought there was more to it than just a no, because it's a Roth. No, you don't have to do that. So if you're 100% certain there won't be any taxes on it, then that's fine. Psychological win 758, handling setbacks. Feeling frustrated yet just a little relieved. Okay. Took my 15-year-old vehicle in for annual inspection. Needs some work to pass, about $1,700 worth. I've said it before and I'll say it again. $1K in emergency fund is not enough. 10 years ago, maybe. No, it wasn't even enough 30 years ago. Quit with that crap. Quit with that crap. Quit with that crap. Maybe today it needs to be more like 3K. Nope, that wouldn't be enough for a lot of people either. So no, the problem is you can't set an amount that everybody's going to agree on. So it needs to stay the 1,000. 1,000 is to give you $1,000 of wiggle room, so you don't have to put it on a credit card. So you stay away from that. Can handle small emergencies. It's not supposed to be enough. Dave says it over and over and over again on the Ramsey Show Highlights channel on this past Monday. They put a clip from a live show where Dave addressed just that. And he said the exact same thing that he always says, and I say as well. It wasn't enough 30 years ago. It's not supposed to be enough. Now for the good part, I do have the $1,000 saved. Great. I also have $875 worth of snowball I can divert to this month to the repairs. Great. So I'll be okay. So then that's fine. 1,000 emergency fund. You know, if you consider it an emergency, you said it needs work to pass. So I guess you got to get that done. You could take it elsewhere to see if they give you a lesser quote on that. Could do that. So I'll be okay, but it sets me back a month. It's still going to set you back a month because if you use the $1,000, you have to replenish it. Even if you have more in your started emergency fund, you have to replenish it before you can continue to do anything. So it doesn't set you back. I understand you wanting to have more money in emergency fund, but don't be stupid. It does not set you back. Learn to do math. Sets me back that now I need to rebuild my emergency fund next month. Yeah, you would. Even if it was $3,000, you would still have to rebuild it. What about that don't you understand? Goodness, how does everyone do handling setbacks like that? You just like you are. You use it if it's an emergency. You use emergency fund, and if you need more money than that, you cash flow it. What you're doing, you do it, and you quit whining about it. Is $1,000 savings okay to combine with diverting snowball funds? Yes, absolutely. I'm lucky enough to have a large enough snowball to help this time, but it's super sweet to not need to break out a credit card. Exactly, and that's the reason why. So don't be stupid and say both things. You're saying like three different things that are all against each other. So don't do that. Be intellectually honest with yourself when you're making these posts or complaining about steps that obviously work and you just don't like it because you had to pay out some money and you're not making the type of progress that you need to make. Well, you know what you can do? You can cut some stuff out of your budget and get a bigger snowball. That's what you can do. How about that? Do that. Maybe I think your stuff you're spending money on is too much instead of the baby emergency fund, starter emergency fund being not enough. I think your budget is too much. Weird, and I think you just doing it with the first guy that quotes you is dumb as well. Don't do that. Air TJ, where does the don't buy new car until $1 million net worth philosophy come from? I'm right-handed, but my right hand was on my mouse. Where does it come from? That's a Dave, I think. That's a straight Dave, straight out of Ramsey, straight out of Franklin, Tennessee. Straight out of Antioch, Tennessee, originally. Someone who has $500,000 in their house, $475K in their retirement accounts, and $25K liquid is technically a net worth millionaire. Yes, absolutely. So Dave would allow them to buy a new car. Yes. But of course, this would not be smart. Is his methodology actually wise in all cases? Yes. Also, what you have to do, again, like the other person, okay, think and do math first. Guess what? If they have to buy the car in cash, right? Hopefully you know that. They would not allow them to get a loan on the new car. So that means they have to buy the car in cash. So guess what? That means they need to have the money outside of their emergency fund, which would be the 25K liquid. So that means they would have to have the amount of the car as well. So, you know, I mean, just think before you start typing away. Think. So yeah, it's fine. The person will be fine. Like, because you don't know, you also don't, I mean, you know, things are left out here. Obviously, the amount of their snowball a month, if that exists, you know, which it does. It's however much they have left over after, you know, and if they have, you know, several, maybe they have several $1,000s or even $1,000 left over after that a month, and so that kind of depends as well. But you know, with this, they have the emergency fund, they're fine with emergencies, they're working still, they have income coming in, and they have a bunch in retirement and a bunch in the house. If everything went bad, they could sell the house and move down in house to a cheaper house if everything went bad. So that's why they're fine. Think, kids. Think, McFly, think. Assuring Fish posts on here quite a bit. How should I look at my student loans for baby step 2? You should look at them with disdain. You should do like skeptical. Oh, is that guy's name Fry from that meme? I never watched that show. I'm trying to think of Futurama. I think that's the name of the show. I never watched that, so I don't know. But that meme where he's skeptical about something. That's how you should look at it. And you should look at it, again, like I said, with disdain. So, okay, so you're not going to believe this. But because they're student loans, doesn't matter. Let's read what it says right here. It says, pay off debts from smallest to largest using the debt snowball method. So that's how you should look at it for baby step 2. Let's see if Dave's version said anything. Pay off all debt except the house using debt snowball. And that, of course, means smallest to largest. So yeah, that's how you should look at it. So people want to get deep a lot too when there's no need to. Let's see. I'm not sure if should consider my student loans one larger debt or several smaller debts. If they're with different lenders, then you can do them as smaller. That's fine. That's fine. And so if one of those is first, that's fine then. If you want to do it that way, that's fine. Boom, ba boom. It's only one payment per month, but it's technically 6 different loans. Is it better to tackle the smallest portion of the student loans first, or would my credit card be considered the smallest debt? If one of the lenders has a smaller amount than the amount on your smallest credit card, then you can do the student loan first. That's fine. I will allow it. Logic Sun. Can't decide how much to spend on a used car I would purchase with cash. As little as possible. That's how I think about it. See, I don't care about cars. If it runs and gets me from point A to point B, that car and I are good. I have a 2005 Suzuki Verona. It had 80,000 miles when I bought it. Bought it for $1,750. Needed $250 of work, so $2,000 car. And I've had it for, I think, 4 years now. And no problem. Let's see. Again, just like I would purchase with cash. Oh no, I'm sorry. I did need. What did I need? New brake lines, and that was $600, I think. So yeah. So I mean, and then now it's been fine ever since then. So fine for how long has that been? A year and a half since I did that? 2 years, something like that ago. And so it's been fine. And so, that's basically like, do I stick with that one or do I buy a new car now for $600? I have that car and it works fine again. So, eventually you do have to, call it. You have to have a time of death on a used car, certainly, or even a car that once was new. But you try to stave that off as long as you can. Does Dave Ramsey and community have a rule of thumb to help with deciding how much cash to spend on a car? As little as possible, especially if you're in baby step 2. It depends on the baby step, obviously. Where you at, dog? I know Dave Ramsey is completely against car payment, and so am I. So, I mean, you shouldn't even need to say that on this subreddit. The financial world has rules for having your car loan be a certain. Yep. Does Dave have any rules about the amount to spend when buying a car outright with cash? As little as possible for something that your mechanic checks out and says is good. I'm wondering if Dave and community has something like a rule of thumb for vehicle cash purchases as little as possible. More info below if I've gone through all the baby steps. No debt, okay? All the baby steps. You're on baby step 7. You can save up and spend as much on a car as you want then. $80K a year. He still would say $40,000, half of your annual income in everything that you own with wheels on it. So if you have a different car as well, that would lower that amount. But so you can have $40,000 in cars with making that $80,000. I have $30,000 liquid to spend on a car, but it starts to hurt when I think about spending $20, $25K. Then don't spend 40, spend 20, $25K. Or spend less. Buy the cheapest car you can that checks out with your mechanic. 30K figure doesn't include my emergency fund. Excellent. I last spent $5K on a car over a decade ago, and that car is over 2 decades old and in the shop for repairs. So if you are going to have that one as well as a backup, then, buy something cheap. And there's spent $20K on a car and having a hard time pulling the trigger. Thoughts? You're on step 7 and you sacrifice on things to get to step 7 for a reason. And if you're a car guy, that's when you can buy a little bit more expensive car. If you don't care about it, though, there's no need to. So don't let anybody else's opinion, especially somebody that's a car guy, influence you on spending more on a car. You do what you want to do. And if you want to get another $5,000 car, get another $5,000 car. That is fine. You can also, again, based on your income, get a $35,000 car. If this car is worth $5,000, maybe the car is worth less than that. So, somewhere just under $40,000. You can spend that. You have to save the cash up. So you'd have to save 10 more K. And so you'd have to wait longer. But yeah, you can certainly do that. How about that? Congratulations. You begin step 7. Add honest 8416 house or retirement. Both. Let's see. Trying to figure out what would make the most sense for my situation. When considering a house, let's just look at the investment in this discussion and no other benefits of owning a home. All right. I'm feeling some financial theory talk coming up, and I'm not a fan of that at all. Let's see. Because there are other benefits of owning the home. Look at the investment in this discussion. Does that mean you're going to get a mortgage for a rental property? Reading between the lines here. Understand this is not a buyer's market right now, right? But if you can afford the mortgage payment, if it's 25% on a 15-year fixed, then you can do that, even though it's not a buyer's market right now. So I'm thinking about saving for a down payment if/when things change. I'm 33 years old. I work for the federal government. So as long as I stay long enough, I'll be getting a pension. I'll be hitting the pension is not going to make as much as the market, so you can't compare it to market investing. So, for example, Mr. Ramsey says to count the pension as half of your 15%. That doesn't mean count it as 7.5. That means if you are putting 15% of your income into that pension, you're only allowed to count that 15% as 7.5% towards the 15 because it's in a pension, which does not make as much as the market. So yes, you always have to be doing more than just the pension. I'll be hitting my 5 years of service this September. My pay grade is GS09 and wife collects disability. So we're not making a ton of money, but doing all right. Bum, 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 bum. I shall also mention we don't have and won't have kids. I do plan to try to move up, move up in my career and make more money. But as far as how up I go, remains to be seen. I don't like super stressful work, so I probably won't go beyond GS12. I don't know what any of that means. I think the higher up in number you get, the more money. I don't have any debt, and we live in a 1,000 square foot apartment with suits most of our needs. There's no E in suits. That makes it suites. I'm putting in 5% of my income on TSP. And with matching, it's 9%. Okay, you don't count matching either. So you're looking at 2.5%. So you need to be doing an additional 12.5. My friend, not a handyman. I don't enjoy fixing things. So unless it's super simple, I'll be paying someone else to do maintenance. If I had a home, you can rent forever if you want to. It's fine. Although I haven't been great at it, I started to educate myself on the stock market. So I'll be taking more actions on my accounts to make sure I maximize my income. I could try doing stocks outside of my retirement to help save for a home. But then I'd be paying additional tax. And also the market could be down right when you want to take the money out to be buying the house. So that is generally not advised unless you're going to not buy a house definitely for 5 years. Got to have at least a 5-year window to use the market for a piggy bank, and also not stocks, not single stocks. You're doing managed mutual funds. So as far and what would be the smartest, investigate that would investment maybe that would gain me the most and save me the most money. What would make the most sense? So I mean, it's fine if you want to save up a down payment and not be investing any more other than this 5% in the TSP. That's fine. You can do that to save up a larger down payment. But I mean, I don't, no, especially the last, what would be the smartest investment that would gain me the most and save me the most money? What would make the most sense? Well, that would be the market. That would be a managed mutual fund, which can make more than the index fund. But Dave, as far as his using the market for a piggy bank, for which he stores his real estate investing money, he puts that in S&P 500 index fund for that. And so I would say that I have no problem recommending that to you. That's what Mr. Ramsey does himself. But again, you do have to have the 5-year window for that, because in 5 years, any 5-year span, it's highly unlikely that the market would be down at the end of that 5-year span. So if you are going to want the money before then you can't do that. Then you have to settle for a high yield savings account instead. Alrighty, Mundane P again, 1143. What are the pros and cons to ETFs versus mutual funds versus index funds? Okay, mutual funds, when people type on here mutual funds, or when most people say mutual funds in the context of Mr. Ramsey, what they mean is managed mutual funds, because index funds are a type of mutual fund. Managed funds are a type of mutual fund. So people, I mean, you're trying to understand this stuff where everything is a lot more complicated than just that, but they can't even handle calling the fund the right thing. So I don't know what's up with that. I'm looking to invest my Roth IRA that I've recently started and want to know what the best route to go is. I have the most familiarity with ETFs, such as SPY. If it's Roth IRA, it's for retirement. Managed mutual funds are what Mr. Ramsey recommends, because they can make more than the SPY and the QQQ. And you don't really understand the other two as much. And what would be the benefit of using those as opposed to ETFs? ETF is the exchange traded fund. And so again, you're all talking about the same thing here. Please give real advice and not just do your own research. Because I will do my own research. Then why are you asking? But would also like solid advice from people with real experience. I'm going to do my own research, but I want you to tell me first. So SPY and QQQ are both S&P 500 index funds. So you can compare them, look up them both. All the information on every mutual fund, including index funds, is on the internet. So you can look both of those up and compare them. They are both representative of the S&P 500, so they should be making exactly what the S&P 500 makes, the S&P 500 index makes. And as much as each other, they should all three be making the same thing, unless one of those has something a little bit different than the actual S&P 500. And what they would have differently would be the amount of stocks, possibly, but that's when you start getting in the managed fund. And that is how, let me use this here to tell you the example. That is where the management comes from and can do that. Now, the S&P 500 index has the same amount. They don't change the amount of the percentage of what each stock in it weighs or how much is included. So, but say if you got your large cap fund, which again, that is all your tech stocks. And if you're just S&P 500 only, people don't sleep on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ has won, I want to say 50 15 out of the last 20 years. So don't sleep on the NASDAQ. And of course, manage large cap funds that I have. 3 different ones that I have all beat the NASDAQ index. So shut up with the, it's so hard to find managed funds. Have you tried even? If you tried and haven't found any, then maybe you're just not capable of it. I don't know, but it's not difficult at all. Okay, so again, all these are down except Apple from Friday because it's a down day, as you can see. You see up here, it's all down. But really good year so far. Let's prove it. S&P 500 year to date, 12.754%. And you're looking for the S&P 500. You're looking for at least 10% per year, and it's there already. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to go back to, there we go, that and back. Okay, so here's where, so with the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ index, you would have you would have just as much as a part of that index fund. You would have just as much of Apple as you would of Alphabet. And the same amount of Microsoft, the same amount of Amazon, and the same amount of Meta, and the same amount of Tesla. All right? So what your management team can do is say, hey, Apple does a lot better than Microsoft. Maybe we'll take a little sliver of what we're spending on Microsoft right now and put it into Apple instead. And if there's something going wrong, like, Tesla's been having its issues this year, they could say, well, let's take about 25% of what we're putting in Tesla and we'll put that in, I don't know, NVIDIA. Let's see if the NVIDIA is on here. Because that's been, AMD is on here, and that was up 0.65%. So, yeah. But yeah, it doesn't have the NVIDIA handy, does it? Nope. Yeah, no NVIDIA, but NVIDIA has been doing gangbusters, just the AI chips, and the kids love the tech, and so that is much in demand right now. And so you could even do that. You could take a 25% out of what you would be putting into Tesla as part of the mutual fund, the managed mutual fund, and the management team decides, yeah, we'll take out that 25% and let's throw it in NVIDIA, which is making a buttload more money. And that's how you make more money on a managed fund. All right. And I'll be including basically that same speech. I'm sure I'll word it differently. Probably script it out ahead of time, but I will be also making a beginner. I got so many videos to make. I keep promising them. I guess I got to start doing them. Investing for beginners. Alrighty. So let's see. So yeah, as far as just those, if it's Roth IRA, so that means that's your retirement account, bud. And so managed mutual funds are going to be the thing. And the pros to that would be that it makes more money for you. The cons would be if you just do index funds, you're missing out on money. You're leaving money on the table. And the con would also be you're being lazy by not investigating that. Or you're being too cheap to pay somebody to investigate it for you. Alrighty. Dan Jefferson. All right. Should I worry about sinking funds if I'm still on baby step 2? Yes, you should. Because that's how you pay for things. Sinking funds are for things that you know are coming up. And that means tires. You know just about when the tires are going to need to be changed. You know when your son or daughter's birthday is. You know that in advance. And yes, on baby step 2, you don't want to go crazy, but you can still buy your kid a birthday present with your own baby step 2. And so that would be example of sinking fund. Any expense that you know is coming up. Now, what it's not for when you're on baby step 2 is a vacation. No, 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 no. So let's see. Should I worry about it? I have about $34K. I'm working on paying down. Is that debt? Paying down. After paying all my bills and budgeting for gas and groceries, we have just over $600 left. I wanted to start sinking funds for the holidays, birthdays, and car maintenance. No, you're not going crazy for holidays and birthdays. You're buying a birthday gift for a relative, a close relative you're buying. Everybody else, you're buying a card if you're on baby step 2. You can't keep spending money like your hair's on fire if you want to get rid of that debt. Car maintenance definitely needs to happen. So you can save a sinking fund for like something like an oil change. Hopefully you would be able to cash flow that. And if you have over 600 left, you could cash flow it out of that amount. So you wouldn't need to do a sinking fund. But you can. And then that would allow you to put all that 600 towards debt. So it's up to you. You can do sinking funds, but you gotta make sure they're not for extravagance. Something you're saying for holidays, you're taking it easy on the holidays this December if you still have debt. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong. But I'm estimating roughly 400 that would go towards these sinking funds. No, that's a no, dog. No. So, I mean, what are the sinking funds for? I got to hear that. I mean, if you know that you will need that, like if you need some crazy dental work where you can't put it off, then you have to either cash flow that or save for it. And so that would be an example of where you would do that. But see, when you start saying holidays and birthdays, you need to have specific things happening here. You have to have my son's birthday, daughter's birthday, husband. I mean, even an uncle maybe, but for this year, I would send uncle a card, and that would be it. And you don't want to have some freaking $1,000 party either. So you're talking about $400 a month going into this stuff. And after, what is that? 12? That's $4,800 for a year. If you're putting 400 into sinking funds for these things. And no, that's too much. No. So you got to tell yourself no, just like I did, just like I told you no. And you should feel guilty putting that much away. Yeah, knowing it could help make a decent progress towards paying down debt. Right, but the holidays are going to come regardless. Yes, but that doesn't mean you have to spend money. You can enjoy the holidays without spending money. Trust me. And I always seem to be prepared for the costs around that time. There doesn't have to be any costs. You're getting presents for your immediate family, and everybody else maybe gets a card. Maybe not even a card. I'm not a card person. Can you tell? You're prepared for the cost that time of year. Yeah, so you don't just like, oh, it's Christmas, I gotta spend money. No, you don't, and you better not. Does it make more sense to put it all towards debt or do the sinking funds? Put it all towards debt, and you don't cash flow that cost either. You don't do that cost. You cut that out of your life this year. Yeah, breakdown of those sinking funds you have in mind. That's right, Guitar Lisa. Guitar Lisa know what up. How about that? You have to do the car one for sure. Maintenance does happen. Car maintenance. Yeah, holidays and birthday. Don't and go cheap on. Exactly. Yeah, it's looking more like opting out of holidays and stuff. I usually host the holidays. Nope. Nope. Not this year. You get baby step 3 done, you can go back to hosting holidays, but somebody else will be doing it this year or the next couple of years. Exactly. See, and by doing things like that, then maybe it won't be next couple years. Maybe it'll just be this 1 year you have to not do it. All right. Very exciting. Very exciting to see so much, at least at the top. I'm sure there's anti-Dave advice in there somewhere, but so much Dave advice near the top of that. Oh, let's see. Oh, 2 hours already. It goes by so quick. Let me see what the next one is so I can... Should I invest in VU? Okay, this is the same thing. Mundane P. I think this is basically the same question. Here's what you do. Google VU and Google Spy, and you compare them your same self. Dumb. Dumb. What makes one better than the other? Google them and see what's in them. It will tell you exactly what's in those. And tell you like the percentage of them. It should be the same percentage as all the 500 stocks that are in the S&P 500 should be worth the same weight and the same amount of each in, like $1 in each, that kind of thing. And so, but if they've changed things up and it's not like that, it will let you know in there. And that's how you can tell that. Yeah, both are generally the same since they both are S&P 500 ETFs. So what makes one better over the other? So this question that you're asking here, you know what you're asking right here? This. You can type this into a thing called the Google. Or, if you're Microsoft devotee, the Bing. You can type it, or the Edge, rather. Yeah, the Bing is the search engine. Edge is the browser. And so you can type that in and get the answer instead of asking everything in here, asking the same question multiple ways in here, trying to get the answer that you want, I guess. I guess the other question didn't give enough comments. There's 56 in here. Hopefully you got the right one that you want, but you're doing it wrong. You're going about life wrong by posting the same question over and over again, basically. You're doing it wrong. Okay, save for college or save for down payment. Buying a house is as necessary as saving for college. So that would be that, but we'll read that tomorrow. We'll get into that. Alrighty, so thanks for spending 2 hours with me, or if you fast forwarded through it, or if you even watched a few seconds, much appreciated. Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach, and my name is Coach Steve Money. YouTube.com/Coach Steve Money, and if you're interested in more financial content, you just scroll down. Most of the live streams are going to be financial, but occasionally there may be some video game stuff in there as well, so that is not always guaranteed to be financial, but I'm answering your financial questions is this stream, and this is number 96 that we're doing right now. And so there's 96 of those, and 2 down from that. I'm skipping the music playlist momentarily, but we'll be back to that. Ramsey Show After Show. And I've done 373 of those so far. 374 will be on this Wednesday, the 12th, which you can see on, there it is, right there on the ticker, right there. Actually, that's behind, so you'll see it coming up shortly. YouTube is behind the live stream. Yes, that does happen. What was I saying? Oh, Ramsey Show After Show. So there's a bunch of those. The After Show is I do answer these same questions from Reddit on the After Show, but I also talk about the Ramsey Show chat some, do other things on there. I sing some of the songs that are in the music list, and I have like news stuff, and I talk more about that day's market results. Things like that. And so that's the Ramsey Show After Show. And so there's 3 coming up in June. That would be the 12th, the 19th, and the 21st. Alrighty. And of course, the answering your financial questions. Ramsey Solutions Certified Coach Steve Money. That's me. And the next one will be tomorrow. Episode 97 will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That is Saturdays and Sundays. 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's the time that the Ramsey Show video is on during the week. So I let them have the weekend off, and I take over. Anyway, the music playlist has 9 or so. I should count them so I can say the exact amount of Ramsey adjacent songs. Like I was singing before, Rachel Cruz song. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruise. And so that's that one. And the newest single dropped about 2 weeks ago is You Belong Debt Free. You belong debt free. And so check those out. Listen to all those. We got... Where'd the rest of them go? Where'd they be? I have too many now for it to show up on there? It's missing some on this view now. Maybe they're in the actual playlist. Let's just check it. There we go. Yeah, they're all here. Okay. Yeah, so we also got Water and World by Thurlcat. World being my favorite song. Live performances by Thurlcat. Video recorded by me from the 90s on a handheld camcorder. And so we got the original Baby Step song. And they say temporary lyric video, but I never knew how to make better videos. Until now, I am learning. And so the newest song has a better type of video with it. John Deloney's song. And me reacting to John Deloney's reaction to the John Deloney song. And the Rachel Cruise song. That was a partial song. Jade Warshaw song. Baby Steppin' song. And that's to Dua Lipa's... Levitating. Lifestyle Creep, that is to Creep by Radiohead. And that's about when you start making more money and you start spending even more money. George Camel's song. And of course the full-length version of the Rachel Cruise song. Finally finished it. And just some clips. That's what gives financial peace. That's what gives financial peace. It's what are they called? One Direction. That's what makes you beautiful. Is where I ripped that music off from. And then of course You Belong Debt Free. Like I said, a better video. I mean, it's still like pictures put in. So, not the best with having all moving images, but the reel-to-reel is moving the whole time. So, that's fun. So, I am trying to learn to do better for you fine folks. And the short version of it is only 59 seconds of it. And so, it does have slightly different lyrics, and you can't see the... you can't see those pictures in there. Okay, so enough talking. I still gotta talk. I gotta do my other plugs. How about that? I got lost since I went into that view. There we go. All right. Yeah, seed 96 today. Nope, I was where I wanted to be in my streaming software. Many apologies. Alrighty. So I'm Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free financial coaching assessment with me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. And that is a video conferencing appointment, so you can do that from anywhere in the whole wide world. Upcoming streams, as I said, answering your financial questions. That is 4 p.m. Eastern Time on both Saturday and Sunday. And the Ramsey Show After Show Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, June 12th. I'm just reading off my ticker, yes. Wednesday, June 19th. Friday, June 21st are the known June shows. There may be more. In the last week of June, you can schedule free, as I said, financial coaching consultant. Consultation with me, calendly.com/coachstevemoney. Email me, coachstevemoney@gmail.com about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel. Be more than happy to talk to you. Donations go to paypal.me, Coach Steve Money. Alternatively, you can send a cash app to $ Coach Steve Money, or a Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. And we already did the streams. All right, so at this point, we say make smart financial decisions every day.